Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. For today's video, we're going to do a quick unboxing of the DC Icons Rebirth 7 pack by DC Collectibles, and I might do some size comparisons with the previous DC Icons figures and have a look at how they compare. So let's start with the packaging for the Rebirth. So you can see all the figures lined up in there. The presentation is really nice. I actually I wouldn't mind keeping the box as is because I can see all the figures inside very clearly. Very nice big window in the front. You've got Justice League written on the side here. You've got DC Universe Rebirth up the top. And spinning around to the back, you've got pictures of the set, the figures you get in this set, and also other figures you can get in the DC Icons line. And on this side, again, you've got the lineup of all the figures in this box set. And just a quick look at the bottom, nothing exciting there. Okay, so let's get this open. And here's the inside of the packaging. So there's a cardboard liner here to keep everything kind of nice and upright. And here you can see all the figures inside, nicely laid out in the plastic tray. Just have a look at the back as well. And a few more pieces of tape to cut open. And here they are. Okay, so I think they're just sitting in there, so they might fall out once I put this down. We'll see how it goes. Yep, there they go. And only Superman's left standing. Okay, so you can see they're all just sitting there, so there's no cable ties, so it's very easy to free these figures from the packaging. And I'll just do a quick tidy up and I'll be back in a sec. And here they are, and they look really nice together. I've been waiting for a Justice League set like this for a while now, so I'm really happy about this one. But the first thing you probably notice is that none of the figures comes with any accessories. In fact, all of the figures have closed-fisted hands. So even if you do have other accessories, you're not going to be able to get these guys to use them. But I'm pretty sure the hands will unpeg, so you can use accessories from other DC Icons figures if you have them. So we'll just go through each figure and do a few size comparisons and yeah, see how it goes. So let's start with Superman. And here is Superman with the previous DC Icons Superman, the single pack. And here is Marvel Legends Cyclops for size comparison. So you can see the Rebirth Superman has been scaled up, so he fits in much nicer with the Marvel Legends scale. The colors are also much more toned down, and the suit is obviously a different design. The head is also much larger than the previous Superman, but I do prefer this head sculpt of the old one. It looks much more, I don't know, it looks much more like Superman. Hands, the bicep looks like a reused part, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's other reused parts on the Rebirth Superman. And quick look at the cape, nice and soft here. And here is Batman. Again, the figure has been scaled up to fit in much nicer with Marvel Legends scale. Color scheme's totally different from the old one, but I do still like this color scheme. I wish they would have made this guy a little bit bigger like this guy. And just having a look at the parts, don't think there's many reused parts here because the scale is pretty much completely different. Look at the cape. Cape is also very different. And here is Wonder Woman, and as you can see, she actually towers over Cyclops, which makes sense. I mean, she is an Amazonian warrior, and they're meant to be quite tall and muscular. And I don't actually have the single pack DC Icons Wonder Woman, so I've got the Mafex figure here for size comparison. And Wonder Woman looks good. The head sculpt is not quite the same as what they have advertised on the packaging, and I also heard from another source that the single pack actually uses the same head sculpt as this one, which is a little bit disappointing because the promo picture that they've shown before showed a very different head sculpt, which I was really looking forward to. So I guess now I can save my money and not have to buy that single pack. And let's just do a quick spin around. It's not really a direct comparison, but you can see a lot of the resemblance in the suit, which is kind of nice. And I'll just bring in Marvel Legends Miss Marvel here for a size comparison with a female Marvel Legends. And again, Wonder Woman does tower over Miss Marvel. And next up is the Flash. There's a lot of nice little differences between the old one and the Rebirth. Size is pretty much the same, and I didn't think I'd like these lightning details on the new one as much as I do, but it actually looks really good in person. And the paint in the eyes are much nicer than the previous single pack version. And let's have a look at some of the differences. You can see on the head is a new sculpt, so the details on the earpiece is completely different. Forearms are different, the feet are different, and I think the body might be a reuse, and the butt looks about the same. Yeah, I actually really like the Rebirth version. And let's just see if you can swap the hands around. The peg looks a little bit different, but wonder if it will go in. Okay. So yeah, you can actually use the hand from the single pack Flash with the Rebirth version. It fits. And here is Green Lantern, and it appears to be exactly the same mold, although the paint job on the Rebirth version is a lot more metallic and glossy than the old one, and also the white of the gloves is much more glossy, and it's just a little bit nicer. Pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. On closer inspection, maybe the thighs on the old one is a little bit thicker than the Rebirth version, but it's very hard to notice. And I'm wondering if he can also use the accessories from the old one. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty much the same mold, so you can take his forearm off and use his Green Lantern parts from the old deluxe figure. I do wish they would have made Green Lantern a little bit bigger though. He is a little bit small compared to Marvel Legends Cyclops here. And here is Aquaman. So the figure is slightly bigger or bulkier than the single pack version. The head is also slightly bigger. It's a new sculpt. The body is a new sculpt. The waist and legs appear to be new sculpts. I do like the coloration of the single pack more. This has a more metallic orange and a darker green, whereas this one looks a bit light. It looks more cartoony, the color scheme, than this one. It's got different forearm fins. This one's longer, this one's kind of short here, and also the fins on the legs. This one has a little bit more detail here, and this one's just kind of flat. And on the back, you can see it's pretty much a remold, not a remold, a new mold. The waist is much thicker than the old version. So if you do want to use the accessories from the old one, the color of the hand is going to be a little bit off because it is a darker shade of green. And it's probably, okay, it's not going to fit. I think the peg on the old one is fatter than the new one, so you can't actually swap the hands around anyway. And last but not least, here is Cyborg. So I had a look at this guy, the single pack deluxe figure in store, and the figure itself, I think they look pretty much identical, even in terms of the paint application. The mold is definitely the same, although this one doesn't come with any accessories. But if you do have the deluxe pack, I'm pretty sure the accessories will work on this guy as well, just like it did on the Green Lantern figure. And in terms of scale, he does look a little bit small compared to Marvel Legends Cyclops. You can see the proportion of the head. This one is still kind of on a smaller scale than Cyclops. And I think being a cyborg, he's supposed to be quite a lot bigger. I would have preferred if he was, you know, about that high. But he's a nice looking figure, pretty nicely painted, and lots of nice little sculpting detail here. I'm quite happy with the 7-pack. Most of the figures that we gotten previously have been scaled up, so they now kind of sit really nicely with Marvel Legends, especially Batman. And the two figures that haven't quite gotten there with scale is Green Lantern, which is pretty much the same mold as before, and also the Flash, which shares a lot of the same mold as before, although it has a much nicer head sculpt now. So I wish they would have done something with Green Lantern, but all the rest of the characters I think scales pretty nicely. Oh, and also Cyborg is a little bit on the small side, but he is a new mold that only just came out in the single pack as well as the 7-pack here. And if you guys want me to do a review of any of these guys individually, just comment below. I'll probably get around to doing them eventually, but if you have a request, just let me know. And that's it for the unboxing and comparison video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time for another toy review or unboxing video.